Because of humans, not only animals, but also birds are disappearing from this world. A few years ago, sparrows could be seen in large numbers outside our homes, but now they've become very rare. And it's not just sparrows, many other bird species are vanishing rapidly, and some have already gone extinct. The only trace they left behind are these final photos. I'll reveal them all, so don't blink and make sure you stay until the very end. Number 7. Ivory-billed woodpecker. Woodpeckers are famous for their powerful beaks, sharp enough to drill straight into trees. That's how they carve out nests. But among them, one stood above the rest, the ivory-billed woodpecker, the largest woodpecker ever known. It lived in the forests of the southeastern United States and Cuba. These birds depended on old, towering trees, but once logging companies started cutting them down in the 1900s, the woodpeckers began to vanish. By the 1920s, spotting one was almost impossible. In the US, the last confirmed sighting came in 1944. In Cuba, the final group was captured in 1987. Yet in 1935, long before people realized they were nearly gone, someone managed to snap rare photos. Even a short video was filmed. Ghostly proof of a bird many thought would always be with us. So here's the twist. While most believe the ivory-billed woodpecker is gone forever, some still whisper about sightings deep in hidden swamps. Could this giant bird still be out there? Number 6. Paradise Parrot. The Paradise Parrot was once called one of the most beautiful parrots on Earth. It lived only in Queensland, Australia, where it roamed open grasslands and quiet woodlands. These birds usually stayed in pairs or small groups, keeping close to each other. But unlike most parrots, they didn't nest in trees. Instead, they carved out homes inside termite mounds on the ground. This strange choice made them stand out, but it also made them more vulnerable. In the early 1900s, disaster struck. A severe drought in 1902 may have been the breaking point. Their numbers collapsed, and sightings became rare. By 1950, the species was officially declared extinct. One haunting photo from 1922 shows a paradise parrot slipping into its mound. That image became the last record of the bird before it vanished forever. Yet here's the twist. Some researchers still wonder if their unusual nesting habits might have kept a few hidden longer than we thought. Could a bird this striking really disappear without leaving a trace? Number 5. Laysan rail. It was a tiny, flightless bird that lived on Laysan Island in Hawaii around 1900. At first, life seemed perfect. The island was full of food, but had no predators. Because of that, these little birds stopped needing to fly. They simply ran across the sand like speedy shadows. But paradise never lasts when humans arrive. In 1903, rabbits and rats were brought to the island. The rabbits chewed through the plants, leaving almost nothing behind. The rats attacked the rails where it hurt most by eating their eggs and chicks. By 1918, the species was nearly gone from its home. Scientists tried to help in 1920 by moving some to Midway Atoll. For a brief moment, it looked like hope had returned. The birds settled in, and their numbers leveled out. But history repeated itself. During World War II, new predators arrived, and once again, the rails were defenseless. By 1944, only one remained. There's a haunting video of that last bird. Watching it, you realize it isn't just the end of a species. It's the silence of an island once alive with tiny footsteps. The Laysan rail teaches us a harsh truth. When balance is broken, even the smallest creatures can vanish forever. Number 4. Pink-headed duck. This duck was one of the rarest ducks in the world, once found in India, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. Its soft pink head made it stand out, but it wasn't just about looks. These ducks could fly, yet they often chose another escape, diving underwater to hide from danger. From the moment it was first recorded in 1790, the species was already scarce, but things grew far worse when British colonists reached the subcontinent. Hunting spread, wetlands shrank, and the population slid toward collapse. By 1949, the last confirmed sighting came from India. Still, the story didn't end there. Farmers and fishermen in northern Myanmar claimed to see them in remote swamps. Those swamps are nearly impossible to reach. Therefore, the reports remain unproven. What deepens the mystery is their behavior. The pink-headed duck was nocturnal, active at night, but that made spotting them even harder. Because of these challenges, the IUCN never declared them extinct. Instead, they are listed as critically endangered, leaving us with one one haunting question. Could a few of these rare birds still be out there, hiding in the shadows? Number 3. Norfolk Island Parrot. This was no ordinary parrot. It looked almost like a small eagle and lived only on Norfolk Island in the Pacific Ocean. People once called it the Norfolk Island Kauaʻi. Its beak was larger and stronger than most parrots, built for power. It also had a distinct call that made it easy to recognize. These birds lived on a simple diet of fruits, seeds, but also insects. For shelter, they searched for deep holes in trees where they built their nests, but the peace didn't last. In the early 1800s, Europeans spread across every island they reached. They had already caused the Kauaʻi ʻōʻō in Hawaii to disappear, which we will talk about later, after introducing mice and mongooses. On Norfolk Island, they brought pigs, rats, but also cats. That single act flipped the balance of the entire ecosystem. These predators didn't belong there. Therefore, they destroyed what had once been safe. Rats and cats climbed into the trees, snatching chicks from their nests. The adult parrots weren't safe either. They were hunted for their meat. Because of this, by the early 1800s, the bird had already become rare. By 1850, the last 2 Norfolk Island parrots were captured. Those were the final survivors of a species that once ruled its island skies. Number 2. Laughing Owl. This owl was one of the strangest birds ever to live in New Zealand. Instead of nesting high in trees like most owls, it preferred dark caves and rocky crevices as its shelter. At night, it slipped out into the open and hunted insects, tuatara, and even small birds, moving silently through the night. But what really set it apart was its call. Imagine walking through the quiet New Zealand night and suddenly hearing what sounded like a person laughing in the distance. That eerie sound wasn't human. It was the laughing owl, and the recording you just heard captures exactly what startled the early European settlers. Sadly, the same people who were amazed by it also doomed it. They brought rats, cats, and stoats that raided nests, but they also hunted the owl directly. By 1914, the last known laughing owl was seen. The old photograph you see shows that final bird, a reminder of a voice in the dark that will never be heard again. Number 1. Kauaʻi ʻōʻō. Around 15 to 20 million years ago, a family of birds appeared in the Hawaiian Islands called the Mohoidai, or Hawaiian honey-eaters. This family once had about 7 species. When Polynesian settlers arrived around 1000 AD, they hunted these birds so heavily that 2 species disappeared before Europeans ever set foot on the islands. But in 1778, Europeans came, and with them came cats, rats, mongooses, and even mosquitoes. These invaders devastated the fragile ecosystem. 3 more species vanished, leaving only 1 survivor, the Kauaʻi ʻōʻō. By 1960, fewer than 40 Kauaʻi ʻōʻō remained. In 1970, the first and only video of this bird was recorded, the same one you see today. In 1981, the last known pair was spotted, but tragedy struck when a hurricane killed the female. For 5 years, the very last Kauaʻi ʻōʻō kept singing in the empty forests, calling for a mate that would never come. The sound you heard is that final, heartbreaking call, the lonely voice of a species fading forever. But if you don't want to miss the next banger, hit subscribe button. And by the way, YouTube thinks you'll love this video on screen, so click it and keep the adventure going.